Hello and welcome to my workshop, Honouring Goddess now, at this beautiful time of Litha, the summer solstice. Today I'm going to show you how to make your own little paper boat so you can write your messages to Goddess and just float them down the water and asking the great Goddess of the deep, Goddess Domnu, to take these messages and bless them on their forward journey as you move forward now through this year. So I am Michelle, a priestess of the goddess and sacred space, and I'm really happy to share this water ceremony with you now. This is aimed for families with little children, but adults, you can also do this because it's so much fun and pleasure and is the beauty of honouring goddess. So how do we do this? Very easy. Firstly, I always try and use things which are around the house, as in recycling. I don't feel the need just to go out and buy that certain item for this certain ceremony. I try to let Goddess come through and inspire me and see things. And as I do around the house or my home or anywhere I'm walking, I see that potential workshop. It's there for you to pick up and use. Because let's face it, Goddess gives us everything free. We just got to reach out and use it and thank her at the same time. So I'm a big crafter. I collect lots and lots of different things for crafting, whether it be feathers, shells, stones, paper. And one of the many things I've got is coloured paper, as you can see, just ordinary coloured paper. I've used it so many times for so many things. I thought, how appropriate now. Now you don't need to use coloured paper. You can use white paper. You could use newspaper. You could use magazines, whatever it is which calls to you. So how do we make our water boats? Very easy. I am no big person who can work with paper, but if I can do it, you can do it. So let's give it a go. Firstly, this is the paper I'm going to use. It's just an ordinary piece of blue, like I said, paper. And I'm going to, if I can show you on the camera, fold it like so. Now the object here is to keep it as straight the edges as possible, because that will give you a better finish. But you know, if you can't do that, it's not the end of the world. We can still make it float. So holding it like so, I run my fingers across the top, so I fold it in half. So far so good. And then with this half, I then am going to fold it again the other way. And if I can just, there we go, like so. Again, keeping the edges to the edges. And just, hopefully, there we go, run the finger across there. So what you're making is just 4 quarters. Now that seems very simple. So I'm going to try and do this reverse so you can see it, rather than do an aerial point. So with your piece of paper, and you can see the crease where you've made, and this is the opening. You're going to lay this flat on your surface, and what you're going to do, I'm going to do the first one. You're going to fold the first corner edge in to make a triangle, like so, and you're going to do exactly the same on the other side. I'm just going to do that now, and trying to keep it as neat and straight as possible. So what you'll end up in is having that. So far so good again. And then once you've got this piece of paper, we're going to fold over. I'm just going to do that, lay that down and fold that over. Yes. And we're going to turn it round and we're going to do the same. And I remember doing that as a child, and we used to make paper hats. I used to think, how good is that? We're going to take the edges, this one edge, and we're just going to tuck them in. Both ends. So put that down because it's easier to do like that. So we've tucked the ends in. Yeah. And now, if you've got this scene facing you, obviously, just open it up like so. And turning it so we get a diamond shape. And just straighten, press the edges, so we've got a diamond shape. And we're going to pull this point to this top point. just going to do that now. And I'm going to show you again. Yes. And we're going to do the other side. And keeping the edges as you go nice and straight. And as you're doing this, you're actually going to now start to feel that beautiful energy Goddess is going to give you. Just running your fingers down, straighten them up, really nice. And you're starting to think now, this is going to be my boat. And this is going to be the messages I'm going to put on this boat to send it to the Goddess of the Deep, Goddess Domnu. So you're going to start thinking now, what am I going to write on this? So let's create the boat so we can do that. So with this, as you can see, we are now going to just pull this out to make the boat. And to do this, we're going to turn it this way. As you can see what I've just done, yes, upside. And the edges just come into here and pull out. Now, they look a bit of a squiff in the middle, but with your fingers, you can just support that. And what I usually do is just make that edge, that very first edge, just moving it so you create that rim. And you're going to turn that round. Now you can see your boat. And you're going to do exactly the same. Just put it on the ground or on your table, just to give it a straighten out. And you're going to just push the inner bit out so it's like a triangle, as you can see in the center. This will hold it, and just pull your boat shape out. Now, it doesn't need to be perfect. You can straighten it up if you want to on the edges so it's nice and flush. And you can do that on the other side as well. Or you can just keep it curved, whatever calls to you. And just sit it down, and it sits down, so that's good news. And that is your little boat. This is going to be our little boat, and I'm going to call this a little barge now, for reasons being in the Avalonian tradition we have a barge. So this is our barge now with our message, which we're going to write. I'm going to write it alongside, and that message is going to come through you. Whatever you wish, whatever comes to your mind straight away, put it down, write it on. Or if you have something planned already you'd like to write, that's fine, you can do the same there. And we're going to write that message on our little barge, and we're going to float that across the lake, the Great Lake of Avalon. And in this case we're going to go to a riverside in a minute, and we're going to float that down. But that's our barge with our message going across the Great Lake of Avalon. Now, if you don't have a river near you or a stream, all is not lost. We can also do this with our imagination in a bathtub. So we can all go on this barge with our little messages and sending it to the Goddess Domnu. And I have made a few little extras, and I've actually put some messages on so I can show you these. And again, all in different colours which I have. And that one says faith. And there's another one in green. And this says hope to all. I think we all need a little hope sometimes. And the last one, which is bright yellow, which is very much a solstice, as in the sun colour. It has abundance. So all these I'm going to float, like I said, our barge now is going to go across that Great Lake of Avalon, down that river, down to the great Goddess Domnu. And I'm going to name this when I get to the riverside. So I'm going to have a little think as I walk to the riverside now. And as I do, you start thinking about what you're going to write on your little barges. And I'll see you there in a bit. Blessed be. Hello and welcome back to the waterside, where we're going to set free now our little boats, our barges, going down the waters to the great lake of Avalon, and letting the Goddess Domnu, listen and hear our messages which we have already written on our little barges. And my last one to write, which I have actually thought about writing now, and I'm going to put healing on it. Because water is a great healer, it's a cleanser, and also with Goddess Domnu, what she does, she cleanses, she heals, she soothes, and it's just perfect now for all what I need. So that's my message, is for healing. Healing not just for myself but for everyone. I'm just going to write that now on my little barge. So I'm going to put healing. Healing. And we're going to send these little barges off now down the waters, the goddess waters, Domnu's waters, down, visualising it now as they go down to the Great Lake of Avalon, and where our messages can be received, and received by the goddess with love and light. And as I do now, I'm just going to say a little prayer just to bless this boat, this barge. And I'm asking Goddess now to help this little boat, barge, sail down this little river, down to the Great Lake of Avalon, sending my message and asking her to receive that message and asking her to help in all our messages we send today. I'm just visualising that now and sending that through. And thanking Goddess for all she does. Blessed be. So here we go. Let's send them down and see how far we go. And by the way, these are all biodegradable, so no harm will come to any wildlife. So here we go, if you can capture this. And away it goes, sailing its journey as it goes. Just give it a little nudge to go down and down. And this one now. Here we go. Sending our hopes and now our abundance. Sailing down. The goddess can reach our messages. I'm just going to put the healing in as well. There we go. How wonderful is that? I'm just going to give this one, oh, there it is, it's gone again. That's fine. So, I hope you enjoy making your little ceremonial boats come barges and sailing them down any of your waterways, or not lost in a bathtub. You can visualize this and sending that message to Goddess Domnu, to help you and help everybody else en route. Thank you, and have a wonderful Litha summer solstice, and enjoy your barge trip to Avalon. Blessed be.